Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another session of Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire the Requiem, Requiem for London. What else have you expected? Once again, once again, Marcus sneaks out from his at least current hiding place at the circus, and through back alleys and even the odd taxi driver, he finds himself again in the little hidey hole that Mr. Goodman is currently calling a haven. Of course, he has SMS'd Goodman before and just said that he would just like to have a friendly chat with him, see how things are, catch up, the usual. So with that in mind, Marcus, who has gone to reasonably good levels to not stand out of the crowd, finds himself at the door, knocks in a certain way that was agreed upon, and waits for some sort of signal back. And with that, it is Goodman's turn.
Julian will be just kind of not necessarily in the same spot he was, but odd pacing, kind of around his small area. He seems to be moving books and different things around. And when he notices Marcus come in, he stops and nods his head to him. I'm glad you're able to come. He said, how's the outside world?
Currently, same old, same old. Murder and mayhem hasn't started yet, so sorry. That's my bad.
Oh, that's all right.
It's an old phrase me and the squad used to use. Sorry. No, I've not seen. Actually closes the door and tries to get comfortable. Yeah. Nobody has made at least any more active move that I've been able to see, so it's the calm before the storm, most likely.
I'll do my best to be ready for it.
Same here. Ugh. Really not the way I was picturing my first year as a kindred, but then again, the plan of mice and men, you know.
Julian shrugs his shoulders.
Plans never seem to last until a few seconds contact with anyway, but yeah. Now, currently everything is quiet. I had a rather interesting chat with Farthingdale, of all people.
Julian kind of narrows his eyes at that. Surely of their success and our failures.
That was the weird part. He didn't come to gloat.
He raises an eyebrow to that.
But then again, what doesn't surprise me at all is he gave me a little cross-examination about my beliefs, for the lack of a better word.
He nods. That's what they care about over there.
I think I might have found out why they have it in for you in particular. I mean, why they had it in for you before. the incident?
Oh, they apparently had a motive.
Hmm.
Curious, because I never had a. It's like outside of their behavior, I never had anything else against them.
Yeah. At the very least, Farthingdale, and I would guess Joshua too, though in Joshua's case, he's a Daver, so fuck knows. Weird clan. Weird clan, I have to say, in its own way. Anyway, Farthingdale had a bit of a chat with me, literally about God and the world, and I didn't feel like lying to him, so I gave him, for the lack of a better word, my best guess. And he also found it interesting why I was doing what I was doing. And I told him why, and surprise, surprise, and here's the real shocker, I was weighed, I was judged, and I was not found wanting, apparently. Quite frankly, from what I read in their Testament of Longinus, not hard to get your hands on a copy there, I would have thought he probably would have been rather disgusted with my oh-so-humane approaches to things, but he found that a positive, so I just let that be that and didn't really put any qualifiers on it. But yeah, what seems to have rankled them the most was the fact that you mentioned the spitting in the eye of God quote. That apparently ticked them off, supposedly.
I assumed that it would, but you make it sound like I said that to them before, which I might have.
I remember you saying it when when Joshua was agitating for fisticuffs.
Yeah. But I assumed they'd be upset with me with that comment. With your statement, I thought they had something premeditated against me. That I expect them to be angry with.
Yeah, turns out they at least pettiness doesn't seem to be something that dies with our embrace.
We'll be having our fisticuffs whether it's on the arena floor or on the streets now.
Mm.
I can only hope that the court doesn't allow him to kill me, and vice versa.
Yeah, which would be a bit counterproductive and technically a bit against their rules. I mean, they've got the rule that kindred shouldn't be killing other kindred unless it's in self-defense. But then again, who knows? Who knows what move they might pull? Wouldn't be the first time I saw somebody say one thing but then behave like a total hypocrite and do something else.
Well, that depends. Since the court hasn't given him a direct order not to kill me, then as an Archon, due to my crimes, he can just say that he can kill me.
Yeah. What I find really weird is not a single peep out of the sheriff. You would think as the head of keeping all nice and orderly in the city would have had some words to say, but actually come to think of it, I can't remember the last time I heard anything from the sheriff. Still haven't seen the fucker.
The Ordo could be dealing with him. He could be too busy, or hell, more conspiracies. I'm not important right now, so. Or it's just as planned. They were hoping something like this would happen. I'm not in the mood to think of every person around the corner as my enemy. I don't have that luxury right now.
Nah. Yeah. at least on the upside. As far as I've been able to gather, the authorities haven't published my face in the papers or in the news, so I would guess that whatever footage they have from me is probably not clean enough to ask me in. Plus, my name hasn't been dropped yet.
That's good. And though, not saying that, as we stated before, it wasn't going to happen eventually, but you can still try to spend what time you have with your family, at least this directly.
At the mention of family, Marcus just looks a bit away. As much as I would like to. No. He shakes his head. Can't risk it. Not yet.
He nods his head to that. Sorry if I said something uncomfortable.
No. Marcus just turns away and produces a baby wipe. He might be trying to wipe something away, something red and viscous. It's okay. It's okay. Jesus, Marcus, get a hold of yourself.
There's nothing wrong with feeling pain.
I mean, I can only imagine how you felt when we got the message. Has there been any news of your sister? Is she stable?
She is aware now. When I first made my report to the Ordo, she was there with my sire. Seemed to be in good spirits. You see Julian look like he's either biting his tongue or the inside of his lip. She wasn't happy to see me. Was expecting a murder of her brother or, in quotes, a man trying to control her life. When she became aware of what I was and what we were doing. But she is in good health. My sire is going to put more attention to her. And if I fail again, she will replace me.
I see. You must be feeling terrible.
I failed the major duty that was asked of me. I am not happy about it.
Asked of you or forced upon you?
I took the ordeal willingly, and I was happy to do it. Like my father before me, he didn't want to change. He wanted to die just a man and live a man's life. He wanted the same for his children.
A wiser man than most. Yeah. The idea of immortality. I don't think that it's quite cracked up to be than what so many think it is, or talk themselves into. If nothing else, it seems to cheapen the worth of life, at least amongst other kindred I've been around. I won't lie, I wouldn't want to be in your skin.
I would assume most won't, or wouldn't.
However, I'm happy to see that you're less agitated than when last I saw you.
I'm in contact with food, so it is easier.
Good. Good. Yeah. 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 Obviously, some kindred who know me asked me about what happened.
A major event. Everybody's going to be curious.
Of course, of course. So far, I've been able to reasonably dodge the questions, but some people I just really couldn't, or it would have been highly disrespectful of me to do so. But yeah, Nikolai is informed, and I've been trying my best to keep things as factual as possible.
We're in no position to lie. Not personally, nor in the Ordo. People are suspicious of us.
Yeah. And surprise or no, I actually got a belated notice on my reward for my aid in dealing with the horrific spirit that was in the bad habit of, well, that had the poor folks' skin on a hook. Mind you, I haven't really checked it out yet. Don't really know if that would be that smart just about now. I know Nikolai has possession of a room, and that there is a laboratory, and that there is a room set aside for me.
You should stay where it's safe.
Call me paranoid, but I'd rather see my little issue with the police taken care of before I get comfortable. Just in case while this thing is going on, they do get a name and they do publish it, that I don't accidentally, let's just say, make the place less viable for other kindred. Mainly not to spoil Nikolai's little party. The last thing I need is a resentful maquette.
Nikolai has proved himself more than reasonable. Let's not assume he has malice in him. But we don't want to create another situation like with the doctor.
Yeah, one could say. Yeah, well put. Yeah, talking about Nikolai, I have him looking into the Inspector Bradley, to see if he can locate him, maybe find out a little bit about the fellow, habits that he has. Just maybe if I can get alone with him, I can make sure that he shuffles my humble involvement in all of this under the rug. At least that's my hope.
I hope you can succeed on that.
Let's just say after the incident, I honed my skills in domination a little bit more. So, yeah, I can give now more complicated commands if I wish to. I'm not quite as restricted as I was before. It was no joy, but sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Indeed.
Yeah. But in the meanwhile, I have Miss Belenko, see if she can contact any of her old contacts, at least when it comes to a new identity, should that become needed.
He nods.
Yeah.
I will say a minor silver lining to this. I got my money back from that casino raid.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm happy for you, but I'm slightly surprised. How did that happen?
I don't know. Pity, charity, maybe a change of a new leaf, don't know. And though despite my position, I have been getting ready to continue some research.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. I have one question. There was recently the finding of a body of a security guard in a certain pharmaceutical company. I don't think that you were involved, but I wanted to double check.
I haven't been able to really leave. I have not been involved.
Marcus takes a long look at Julian. chewing on his lower lip, clearly mulling something over. I have your word, right?
Have I ever lied to you before?
No.
Then I believe you have my word.
That's good enough for me. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should have a look at the worm's nest. I won't lie. The idea of having a proper room to myself, not surrounded by Lankea, would be very nice. And I definitely would like to see what the laboratory has to offer. I just don't know. And mind you, I will deny this in a court of law, but there are moments a sort of mentor character would be nice. Somebody who's been around the block a few times, better knows what to do. What level of precaution is proper and which is not.
I see.
Well,
Well,
mind you, I'll find a way, of course, but it's just a major headache sometimes.
well, as far as it is to this moment, I'm glad that you and the others can access the nest. Right now, I cannot. I have been banned from it till further notice.
Ah. Okay. Good to know. You'll laugh, but I had some crackpot scheme of trying to smuggle you to there to use the laboratory. But if there's an official ban there, I better not do that.
Despite the situation, I have been taken care of.
Okay. And between us bronze dragons, they they're treating you at least okay?
Remarks and looks, but no acts of violence against me yet.
Okay. Good. Good. I'm really happy to see you, at least physically, in a better state. I really am. I can already hear the others whispering, telling in my ear I should distance myself, I should cut ties. But fuck it, no. I'm not gonna abandon a friend. That's just not me. I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I won't lie, what happened and what I saw was horrific, but I bet you weren't the first, and I fear you'll probably also not be the last to be put in an unwinnable situation.
I can only hope if that happens to me again, I'll be ready this time.
Maybe I just don't feel like judging people. Maybe I just really don't.
They have their rights to be suspicious and scared of me. What I did was not easy. Not on the courts, nor on an ethical scale. A lot of people didn't have to die that day, but they did anyways.
Many who deserve to live die, and many who deserve to die live. It is a truth. As much as I wished it were the other way around. And so that was Tolkien for you, but yeah, I don't want to judge you because I wasn't in your skin, and maybe, just maybe, this old fool here hopes that there is some way of making recompense.
I hope so as well. I really do.
But yeah, I'll have to wait back on the report from Nikolai, and then I'll have to be very careful with how I proceed. But at least I'm pretty sure that Inspector Bradley will not be suspecting a master hypnotist. Marcus tries to crack a smile. And if at all possible, I would prefer not to blood bond him to me. But I'm not that naive to think that might not be necessary.
Julian nods. So. Though the motion of his body is not with great energy, you can tell it's very emphatic with the statement.
That's a fucking slippery road.
As my sire would say, can't stay children forever. But I do agree that growing up or not, we could try to make sure there's less pain in the world.
Yeah. And with what you said, I'll need to have a word with Joshua and Baneforth. Sorry, I mean and Farthingdale.
I would not advise to owe anything to them.
No. Nope, I currently don't owe them anything. No. And yeah, here, Alicat might be willing to teach me some Protean.
You won't deny. Julian kind of raises an eyebrow to that, and he'll say, "I am honestly. There's a part of me I'm honestly surprised that she even knows it." It's ironic coming from me.
Marcus chuckles. Yeah. Yeah, but she knows at least enough how to make the earth her bed, and a more dignified one than I did in the past. And he cracks a full smile.
Well, I appreciate you checking on me, Marcus.
Mind you, she wouldn't be giving it out for free. A clan discipline for a clan discipline. In exchange, I would be teaching her the very, very basics of Dominate. I haven't told anyone else that, but just in case, I thought I'd give you a heads up.
It'd be best not to speaking that too loudly. Your elders may get a little concerned if they feel that you're speaking too many secrets.
My elders. I don't think Clan Ventru. No. Clan Ventru hasn't got an elder. They still haven't decided. And I've never been invited to any of the meetings, so. I only carry this title, Ventru, more as a description than with any particular pride. But then again, maybe I shouldn't be too harsh on them. Maybe they've got a hell of a lot of shit to take care of, and are just better at masking it. Or maybe I'm just a little bastard runt that they don't want to acknowledge.
There is a sad look on Julian's face hearing that.
Marcus muses. Heck. I've seen more. Yeah. Heck. Definitely seen a bit more camaraderie amongst the gangrel, and that's a nice thing to see.
We come from a different stock, I could say. But
yeah.
We have our problems just the same.
Yeah, we've got all our crosses to bear. Pardon the expression.
I don't hate religion, I just don't rely on it.
Respect the gods and Buddhas, but don't rely on them.
He nods to that.
Yeah. The Book of Five Rings. Good literature. Helps me stay focused. But yeah. Marcus sighs, stands up. May I give you a hug?
There is a perplexed look on Julian's face.
Hey, dude, I'm also relatively new to this, but Harry said it helps people feel better, so thought I'd give it a try.
Okay.
Think of it as a quick experiment.
He nods to that.
And with that, Marcus will embrace Julian in what seems to be a genuine, friendly embrace, as you sometimes see amongst friends.
And he will help back. It feels a little awkward, but the intent seems genuine enough.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any falseness or malice in this hug. And he'll release Julian after an appropriate amount of time. Yeah, I probably should be going.
No, I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time.
I literally scheduled tonight that I would have all the time in the world. By the way, did you know that Ali Cat's girlfriend is in the circle of the crone? To be more precise, the Sir Knights.
No. Another confused look on his face. I just knew about that terrible breakup they had at court.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you're trying to ask her out.
No. At least not until I've found out from Ali Cat if they're still in a relationship.
So that means you're still willing to try, though. Yes. Julian kind of has a wry look on his face.
Hey, dude, she came on to me. I try my best to stay as professional as possible.
How many times have I heard that back when I was in college from random people? I trust you well enough you know what you're doing.
Well, I thought if I'm able to get a telephone number, it might be useful later down the line. Contact-wise, you know. Something she and I got to speak about is the fact that she was apparently rather pissed off that we didn't involve her in the whole trouble with the worm's nest. I told her we took care of it and remained as appropriately vague as befits a dragon.
So, of course, them and Linky are going to be annoyed. There's an obvious font of power, and we didn't share.
She, of course, was, at least I think she was playing the angle. I mean, but yeah, apparently had the feeling that things would have gone easier if we would have involved them. I of course was thinking, yes, if we got you involved, we would have to share, or you would have tried to steal it from under us. Not what I said, but that's what I thought.
Well, all I can say is I don't see them trying to share their magic either, so...
Yeah, absolutely. But I was able to smooth things over a little bit, and yeah. So, by the way, is it only me, or have you also had the experiences that Davers have a tendency to swing a bit between their emotions, as in strongly?
I don't know. It's not like I know much about the Deva outside of, typically superficial things, and I'm learning some indirect things through some old books that I'm reading, but that doesn't mean it's true. And I just assume the Deva in general are emotional because that's what seems to be their very nature. Whether they're bipolar or schizophrenic, I couldn't tell you.
Mm. Mm.
And if we're going to be honest right now, people would probably more expect that out of a Ventrue once they get old enough.
Oh. And he sits down again. Pray, tell more.
I've heard stories that psychoses are common amongst your people. Not just simply the aloofness. Some straight up just go mad.
Psychosis, sociopathy, psychopathy, stuff like that? Or more the throwing your shit around your padded cell kind of insanity?
It depends. There's all types of stories. Notice that all of this is anecdotal. If we really wanted to know, we'd have to ask our people.
Yeah. Yeah. The one city I go to, and conveniently, or in my case, inconveniently, the Primogen gets murdered. That's mildly annoying. I guess I should probably try and engage one or two of them. Find out more. Mind you, I've been reading the Aeneid. Well, not only the Aeneid, but also some kindred commentary relating to my clan on it. If the stories are to be believed, it seems that the ancestors of the Ventrue, because all of that is couched almost as if they weren't quite what we are now, but I guess that's open to interpretation. But yeah, seems I can, if the stories are to be believed, seems I can trace it back to the Bronze Age kingdom of the Hittites, and Troy of all places.
He nods to that. And there is a bit of a solemn look on his face.
Yeah. The interesting thing in the stories, there seemed to once they got to Italy and well, Alba Longa to be more precise, and the Roma, there seemed to be some sort of factional split, or at least there were some that remained in Rome, and then others that headed more to in the what the Romans would have called barbarous lands, although calling the Celts Thracians, heck, Carthaginians, and so barbarian seems a bit unfair in my books. At the very least, when it comes to the Celts, fuck, they definitely had a slightly more moral view of how to treat each other than others. Didn't stop them from cracking each other's heads, but hey, what do you expect of European stock? But yeah, so the weird thing is, as there was the split, one line eventually met its end. I'll not go into details because sadly that seems to I've got a suspicion that that probably bleeds into encountering with nocturnal fowl that I'd rather not deal with.
He nods to that.
But yeah, that other strain that went out amongst the barbaric peoples is apparently the first time the use of the word ven, or to strive, is used. And then a little later on, the ven became the ventru. Who knows? Maybe in that time where the ancestors of the ven left Italy might have been the time where they met or interacted more with the gangrel. I mean, it's just an educated guess of mine, but it's interesting how the stories sort of reconnect.
It will highly depend on what source you read.
Mind you, at the end of the night, it could all be a load of crock of shit, and we might be from somewhere completely different. Just took that, but yeah. It's interesting how in the Aeneid just certain themes come up that, how should I say, remind me of some of my tendencies. Tendencies I have under control, of course, but it was interesting, if nothing else, as an allegorical piece.
And again, Julian still keeps having that solemn look, almost like he's choosing not to say something.
Marcus has noticed it, and since his roundabout ways of addressing that haven't worked, he'll risk it. What's up, big brother? There's clearly something on your mind.
Actually, this will be a chance dice for him because of my condition right now. Oh God. Let's see, because I only have a dice in subterfuge. And unless this is going to be resolved, right? Which even if that was, I'm at -5 in resolve checks.
Ooh.
Yeah, so. Yep. So actually, no, I would roll the die. I would. They were just going to go with manipulation subterfuge.
And yeah, okay. I'll first let you roll and see how things go.
You know what? Yeah. No, just roll it. Oh. I only got the one success, which is good because I only had one die.
Okay, what would I have to roll for? I think it would be a persuasion, most likely.
Well, it depends on how you want to do it.
Yeah, Marcus tried it on the nice way by using the pseudo familial term, you know, the big brother little brother thing. And he's just told this beast to shut it. I mean, I can give you my word that I wouldn't tell it to anyone else. But I know the expression of a man who is tormented by something he wants to say but doesn't. I've done it to myself. It's not a good place to be in.
Julian will exhale and I've been reading, looking at some old books, hearing an old tale or two, and I find it ironic that it reminds me of not only let's just say, maybe your relationship with the Deva, and also our conversation back at the Museum of History those many nights ago.
Oh? Sorry, continue.
There's possibility that the story of Gilgamesh were the first gangrel, Deva, and Ventru.
Marcus has not very okay. Marcus, congratulations. Julian definitely managed to surprise Marcus fully with that one. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I was obviously being allegorical back there, just going with some general tropes, but okay, interesting. Let me guess. Enkidu was the gangrel, Gilgamesh was the Ventru, and the priestess who quote unquote tamed the wild man was a Deva?
He nods his head.
The master of beasts, the master of men. Ugh, still sounds wrong to me. Going on an adventure and the mistress of emotions.
Gang Enkidu and Gilgamesh were supposed to be mirrors of each other. Both form from clay, divine and mortal at the same time.
Yeah. Formed from clay, which, in the Near East, that tended to be the material that mortals were made out of. I just happen to know that because one of the, how do you call them, museum curators was holding a talk in one of my favorite coves, and I just happened to overhear that while in Norse mythology, it's more the gods creating the mortals out of wood. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Was it just by reading the story and seeing the parallels, sort of as the author of the Aeneid that I was reading of was doing that, or what?
I've been speaking to other gangrel and going through text, and the description of the scenarios do lay credence to the very nature of all three of those particular clans.
Hmm, yeah. Hmm. I I remember reading that when the Deva arrived in Rome, that they were definitely seen as a kindred of the East, as in the Middle East, that general area. At least that source that I've been reading of says that either ancestors or progenitors, or however the hell you want to call it, those that would either give rise to the Monite Venture, or maybe were already Venture all along, but used a different name. Those that were in Troy had originated from a city, and I checked the name and its translations, and it was one of the major hubs of the Hittite Empire, who, funnily enough, they themselves were actually closer to the Greeks than they would have been uh, to the people of Mesopotamia. But that's neither here or there, as we know, ethnicity means nothing in a clan. So heck, for all I know, maybe their ancestors came from the area that is modern-day Iran, Iraq, the land between two rivers. It's a possibility. Wouldn't be surprised. One of the big places where civilization arose.
But let's not forget how that story went. It didn't go too well for Enkidu. That's where I found some, not my own personal distaste, but record of gangrel upset at those particular clans.
Mm. Hmm. So some of the
Also,
gangrel think that there was foul play involved.
well, Enkidu is the one that died, remember?
Yeah,
Gilgamesh became a great king, Lamashtu, a lover of many, and giving a bounty twice over.
yeah. And yet the tales also tell that Gilgamesh wept bitterly for his friend,
That he did.
for they were like brothers. I who knows, maybe I've read a different version back in school, but well, let's just say our history teacher insisted on it. Never would have thought I'd be thankful for for old Thatcher for forcing me to do that.
It will depend on who you talk to.
Yeah.
But it does maybe put credence of why maybe the gangrel, and more specifically the Deva, though I have heard, even before these tales, minor strife with the Ventru, but the gangrel had with those particular clans. It may not just be simple recent events of feeling that we've been used as doormen or stepping stones. It could run older than that.
Oh, great. The last thing I need. An ancient fucking blood feud.
But I don't feel that's us.
They say no stories ever truly told twice. At least not blow for blow. Then again, your name is Julian, and mine is Marcus. Not Enkidu, and not Gilgamesh. I don't think of myself as 3/4 god and 1/4 man. Still, our story hasn't been written yet. And we're not out for the count yet.
He nods. Just something I've been thinking about these past nights.
To be absolutely frank with you, I'm not interested in trying to steal Alley Cat's girlfriend, paramour or not, away. If it turns out that that she was trying to engage, I'd be very flattered, of course, but how should I say? I wouldn't be in the right head or heart space for that anyway. And nothing against her, but she comes across as very moody. I don't really do well with moody women. I never know where I'm at with them.
Very nods to that.
Anyway, thank you for sharing that piece of lore with me. And good to know. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. However, there is one thing I would like to give you before we part again, my friend.
Yes.
I can make a second one for myself, but and he starts taking off the jacket and taking off the top t-shirt, and underneath on the bare chest you see a big rectangular piece of metal. It looks like stainless steel, probably a carbon steel of some sort, with leather straps going over the shoulders and under the arms, and also some metal pieces that are just under the armpits as he starts dismantling it. There is also a back plate. It takes a while for Marcus to get it off. He wipes it clean, and then in an almost formal way, he folds it together and hands the pieces right in front of Julian.
You should keep it for yourself. You don't have resilience like I do.
I have a little bit now. In a pinch, I could craft myself a second one. And yes, I am a crafty bugger. And whatever pathos the moment had, it's just lost because Marcus couldn't help himself and do a dad joke.
Julian will take it in his hand, reverently, nearly, and incline his head to Marcus.
It's a cardiophylax. At least that's what the Greeks called it. A heart protector. I gave it a slight modification so that if anybody would try to stake me from the front or behind, the stake would be blunted. I mean, I'm assuming stakes have to be of wood. If not, I guess bullets would make us go limp.
So he nods and says, yes, they must be of some type of wood.
Good. This is definitely tougher than any sort of wood that I know. And the side plates, although not perfect, should make it more difficult if anyone wants to stab you with a stake through the character knows the word, the player doesn't. We are terribly sorry for to our viewers. In the armpit. That was one of the places they taught us, back in the military, if you want to stab somebody and get to the heart, under the armpits is a surprisingly easy way to get there. Once you've pierced through the lungs, of course.
He nods to that.
To be fair, you might have to bend it a little bit to fit your frame a little bit better than me, but it can be adjusted. Just in case somebody tries to do some arboreal shenanigans.
I'll be sure to use it well.
If it's too uncomfortable to be on the skin itself, don't forget you can get yourself a tank top, put that on, throw over a t-shirt. As long as it's not one of those bodybuilder t-shirts, you should be fine. Nobody so far even knew that I've had this on since my third night here in the city.
And again, another nod from Julian.
Yeah. Marcus looks at his watch, sees the time. I could stay longer in a pinch, but knowing Rusty's routine, he'd He'll probably start getting worried if I don't get back, let's say, within the next half hour.
I understand.
Love him to bits, but daft as a brush. Did you know dogs don't really have the same feeling of, how should I say, concept of time that we have?
I assume that was the case. They technically age faster.
Yeah. Plus, as beings, they live more in the moment. But yeah. Anyway, time for me to get cracking. Stay safe, friend. And he offers his hand and lower arm.
He will take it in stride and squeeze tight.
So will Marcus. Marcus's strength, sadly, has not increased over the thing, but you can feel that the skin beneath, that the flesh and muscle beneath, yeah, it's definitely tougher than the last time you shook hands. And unless there is anything else to say, I think this is a good place to end it. To end the scene, I mean. So, with that, two friends depart. Marcus slips into the darkness and makes his way back to his hideout. Undoubtedly, a loyal hound waiting for him. And with that, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This was another session of Vampire the Requiem, Requiem for London. See you next time.